Hello again, Julia Hartstein, spiritual healer. I wanted to go into a little bit of, I got called today to talk about my essential oils. This is my little to-go bag that I always keep with me, and my essential oils that are usually in here. Sometimes I change a few out. I just wanted to go into the fact that I'm a little bit of an essential oil person. I actually am a distributor for Young Living specifically. I originally signed up to get the discount, and that's basically what I have it for. If you want to order with me, you're more than welcome to, and or sign up for yourself, but that's not a focus of mine per se. I wanted to share the fact that I just love essential oils. I use them daily. I use them everywhere, whether I'm using them, wearing them. I don't diffuse so much in my home. I do in my healing room. You'll see my diffuser behind me, right above my shoulder there. Because this room is closed off, my cats don't come in here. I have 4 cats. I have found that, unfortunately, because they say that essential oils are poisonous to them, some people notice it, some people don't. I had noticed my cats throwing up a lot more when I was using them, and I was like, oh, that's not good. They shouldn't be throwing up for no reason other than essential oils, and I just figured I deem that I won't use that. I'll burn candles, whatever. But certain places, that's one of the best ways to use them, is to diffuse them. Dogs aren't as sensitive, but again, any animal, watch their behavior when you're doing it, because they might be sensitive to it. I've seen dogs that are sensitive to essential oils too. It all depends. Just pay attention, have a little awareness around it. Back to my daily bag that I bring with me everywhere. This is just a bag, and I can show you what I keep in it. That I bring with me everywhere, depending on where, if I'm going out to work, I have it in my bag if I'm going food shopping, because I've also run into people who are a little bit about essential oils, and they're like, oh wow, like, you get into a conversation with somebody, and I'm like, they'll talk about, oh, this is hurting, or I'm feeling this. Hey, do you like essential oils? Are you open? Would you like some? And I'd like to offer it to them, just to put it on. And they're like, oh, that's great. I had one woman, in midst of a lot of what I was doing, I went to a nursery in Long Island. I was driving back, and I think I was picking up, did I want to pick up lavender? I don't even remember what I wanted to pick up. Got into this conversation with this woman. She worked for somebody she didn't really like, and and we're talking about essential oils. She's like, oh, they're great. I'm like, oh, would you like, because she seemed like she was in a bit of a funk, particularly with the person she worked for. And I was like, oh, would you like to put on an essential oil? And she's like, and she just like opened her shirt and was like, oil me up. And I was like, all right. And I pulled out at the time, and I think I had something similar to this. And so I'll show you what my normal ones that I have with me all the time. Again, I'm a Young Living distributor, so I will be showing you Young Living. By all means, I always tell people, do your own research. Find out where these companies have their farms, how they macerate, distill their product. All these kind of things come into elements. Some people, there are companies who get it secondhand from somebody like who has like organic farms, who macerate, distill. Are they macerating, distilling their own product? What happens in the process? And that will also tell you the price of oils. There are some companies that are decently expensive, and real essential oils should be decently priced for what they are, depending on what's available, how easy it is. Like, so rose essential oil, let's take for an example, and I'll get a little long-winded in this video about this. Rose essential oil, for example, I believe it takes over 2,000 pounds or 2,000 petals, I don't remember, something along those lines, to make 1 drop in a bottle. And now those bottles, there's the 5 milliliter, I'll show you. There's a 5 milliliter and a 15 milliliter bottle. Rose essential oil will come in a 5 milliliter bottle, and it's about $200 just for this. Why? Like I just said, in order to get just 1 drop of oil, how much product you need just to make that. That's a lot of the reason. And then, is it organic? Are there chemicals in it? Because you want to make sure these things are pure. These I can take internally, any of them, anytime, and I do daily. Not these specifically, or rose. But I just want you to have an awareness of a little bit about essential oils if you're not, because I know that can be a little daunting. Again, research. I just happen to think they have the best product, and I've tested it against other ones that I was like, oh. And ask anybody. It'd be nice if you were at some kind of wellness expo and they have different distributors. If you're into essential oils, go check out peppermint for everyone. Peppermint's going to be an easy, basic one most people will have. Check out the smell, check out the viscosity, which means how thin or thick the oil is and how it runs. Some oils should have a certain type of viscosity to it. It's a technical term. I just happen to read. I can tell you what book. As a matter of fact, I'll pull it out at some point. Oh, it's right here. Here it is. It's called The Chemistry of Essential Oils. I'm sorry, I know this is backwards. Made Simple, David Stewart. I highly suggest this book. He makes science easy. If science was a hard subject for you, which it was for me growing up because it wasn't taught very well, if you ask me, he's an excellent teacher. Soup to nuts, he explains in very simple terms. Anyway, again, back to my oils. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go over what oils I tend to keep. There's a few roll-ons that this company makes that I like to have with me all the time. And Thieves and Breathe Again are my oils. Usually Breathe Again is my go-to oil, specifically moving from New York to North Carolina. There's a little bit difference in the foliage and I can feel it. I happen to be slightly allergic to dust and mold, and their trees and leaves tend to have more mold on them, so I can be a little bit more stuffed up. These are also really good go-tos too, is my Deep Relief and Valor, particularly when I'm teaching Pilates. If somebody has an injury or an ailment, I love to use these. The regular go-tos that I feel also should always be in your bag, I have peppermint and lavender. I have a bottle of Thieves because one is a roll-on. Oh no, that's not it. One is a roll-on and one comes in here. You can also buy the roll-on tops and just stick them on these as well. I have that on my M-Grain, which I love, and I love to use this in a bath. Just one of my favorite oils to use in a bath. But as you can see, the top's just a little different. It's a little longer. You can stick the roll-on here. Let me put it against. Again, one of the ones that has, you can see it's just a pinch longer for that rolly part. So peppermint, lavender, I feel are good go-tos to always have with you. Also, Dragon Time is another one of my favorites for us ladies, no matter what reason. Usually that time of the month, but sometimes you're feeling effects even after that, and I still feel that Dragon Time's a good one to put on. Sarah is one of my favorite ones that I have added to my bag. I've used it on and off, and as a matter of fact, why I love Young Living is because of this oil. It's more so an emotional setup. I highly suggest looking them up. And the constituents to this oil, considering the past 3 years for many of us, we're just a few weeks away from 2023. The past few years have not been easy for anybody, and in some respect have been increasingly worse because of the Great Awakening that we're going through, right? We're really realizing there's no holding back what's happening. So, or for some people there is, but those are the ones who are somewhat having more of a problem as well. This oil is just, it's one of the ones I keep in my bag on purpose because these also run on frequencies. All the oils have their own frequencies, and there's just an emotional level to this that's wonderful to help ease people. Patchouli is also another one that I think is a great basic to have with you. I'm a very earthy person in general, so I happen to love this scent, and I loved perfumes with this. So, but it's also an excellent oil to have as a basic in your bag. Again, I've shown you the M-Grain. And then this is also one of my favorite oils, White Angelica. I like to have that in there. And this is some of the oils if I'm meditating and I have the time to just give myself a few minutes instead of yapping in your ear, I'll put these oils on chakras as I'm going right before I meditate. So I find that is fun too. I have Palo Santo, which is another favorite. And then I have Harmony, which is a wonderful, another emotional targeting essential oil. This oil I have, it's not an essential oil from Young Living. It's a blended oil I found on Etsy, and I just happen to love it. They make Archangel oils, and I'm a huge Archangel Michael fan. So sometimes I'll put this on my throat, and it just smells nice. As you can see, there's herbs in there with the oils. Other essential oils are not like that. That's a blended oil. But that's a little bit about my daily go-to bag. I just wanted to show you that, and a little long-winded and everything else in there as well. If you have any questions about essential oils, I'll be making probably more videos about them and which ones are my favorite and what I use them for in my own experience. And I hope that helps you. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Please reach out if you have any questions, concerns, and I'm here, Julia at clingandcrazedpilates.com. Love you. Blessings.